Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Prepare for takeoff.
You're now listening to Stepner Show.
Very excited to be in the studio with Hedy Torres.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for having us today on a school night. I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you for inviting. No, actually, thank you for inviting me to do this.
Thank you. No, I'm compelled by your work. I think your work is amazing. I wish I could afford it. One day I will.
You will for sure.
But I wanted to take time to sit down with you because I feel that your work is incredible. It's super amazing. I've seen prints, but now that I'm up close and personal to the work itself, I mean, the detail, the impressionism is so beautiful. Like, let's jump into it. You're an artist that I met at Melrose Trading Post. What's your story?
Okay. Hi, everybody. So I'm Mexican. I'm born and raised in Mexico until the age of 18. I came here when I was 18 years old. I had to learn English, everything, and try for some reason to assimilate the American people, not the culture, because I don't believe there is a huge culture. But I tried to learn English. I went to college to learn English, and I was undocumented for a little time, about 3 years, and I was not able to go to school back then. I wanted to be an architect, but that thing didn't happen, and I enlisted myself to get classes for like registered nurse. And then I realized that that was not my passion. I was following my call. I was following my passion, following what I feel from my heart, even though the money is gonna come in the future later. And then I decided to change my major to art. And I remember when I changed my major, my family was like, you're gonna die poor. You need to like get a career that's gonna give you, that financial status that you need in America and in the society. But I was like, no, the money is gonna come no matter what. I had to study. If I have to study a PhD, I will study it. And then I actually studied a master's degree. I didn't go further because school and education in America is very expensive, and that never guarantees you becoming 100% successful or like financially like free, because school is expensive and you have to get loans.
Oh my God.
And I'm here doing my best.
Thank you for having us.
And everything with art. Yes.
Art is expensive, but so is life. Mm-hmm. And you made life choices to come from Mexico. What part of Mexico are you from?
I'm from Colima. It's a very small state in Mexico. It's in the middle, this side, Pacific side. And that actually it's like a city, a small town, very small city, where there is a lot of taboos, with a lot of like
small-minded mentality.
It's growing, and people are like getting more knowledgeable about things, a little bit more open to like different things. And in the last 16 years, everything has been changing a lot, and for a good. Yes.
And what prompted you to leave Mexico and come to Los Angeles? Like, why leave Mexico and why come to Los Angeles?
That's a very personal thing, but one of the reasons for leaving home was that, as I mentioned, like people are very close-minded sometimes in Mexico, or like machismo is something that we face still right now at this time, 2022. We face a machismo where women are not allowed to speak up. And in my family, don't get me wrong, I really love my dad and my parents, but I grew up being I was very like not being able to speak up. If I will speak up, I will have big problems with my dad or my mom. So I was questioning a lot of things about like why do I have to like clean when my brothers are watching TV? Why I can have access to internet when my brother is always having access to internet? Why I cannot drive a car when my brother is driving cars? Why I can't do things just because I'm a woman? And that really sets my foot out of my house. My dad told me, if you leave, you're not welcome back. And I'm like, all right, perfect. I'm not gonna. 6 months later, I wanted to go back because I miss my family, but my dad was like, no, stay there. Like, you've made your decision.
And out of all the cities in the U.S., why did you choose Los Angeles?
Oh, originally I moved to Porterville, from Colima to Porterville, another small town in north from here, like 3 hours north from Los Angeles. And my aunt gave me the opportunity to be in a home where there is a lot of tolerance, patience, and I learned so much from here. She gave me the opportunity to be myself, express myself, and also realize that sometimes, even though I was trying to do things, I was also wrong. So I was there, I wanted to study something, then I decided to study something else, and I opened myself the opportunity to come to Los Angeles because I wanted to study art. And I applied to Northridge, Cal State Northridge. I applied to Cal State Long Beach. I applied to Cal State LA. I got accepted to all of them. But because I had an aunt in San Fernando Valley, I got my acceptance in Northridge.
Oh, wow, congratulations.
Yes.
And how long have you been in Los Angeles total now?
I came in 2013, August 2013. I think it's gonna be 9 years this coming month. Yes.
9 years?
9 years.
Wow, almost a decade.
Yes, almost
That's exciting. Congratulations.
Yes.
And what was the life of a student artist like for you?
Wow. Life as a student, as an immigrant, as being alone in Los Angeles is not easy. Like, you're always worrying about paying your rent, especially because I didn't have the time to like have small jobs or have like jobs that wouldn't pay enough because I didn't have the support, no financially support from anybody. My family's in Mexico, my parents, my aunt didn't have that responsibility to like pay my rent. So it was very hard. It was hard. I did a lot of type of jobs, like hard jobs where I had to like be serving drinks to like men in very hiding places. And I was with my morals. They told me to leave because one day somebody wanted to like touch my body, and I didn't let them to touch my body for money. So I had to be in those places where those things are, you see them and you see them in like real life, and where you're risking your integrity, you're risking your morals, your values, but money doesn't buy that. And I also actually did it because they told me, like they fired me from the place. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna I'm gonna have my own business. And in the meantime, I also was doing personal training in Gold's Gym. I also was doing Uber, but in Uber you also face a lot of things as a female. Like, men will like have the freedom to touch you. I had multiple times men came and touched me, or they will invite me to places, or they will tell me, hey, how much for like a Tootsie Pop thing,
So you're a student artist, adapting, assimilating, detached from your family.
Exactly.
And you're getting sexually harassed throughout the city,
all the time,
everywhere you're at.
Yes.
And how did you overcome that, or how did you go from the next level?
I was like, I'm gonna start my own business. So I had some money saved and left Gold's Gym. I left this place they fired me, and I was doing Uber. So you have to do a lot of things so you can pay for your rent, okay? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my own business. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be okay. And I got a fruit cart. I got it. I got a brand new. I got all the documents and everything. But when I went to the city and I got the permits, they told me, well, you can't sell this fruit, and you can't shop this because it's illegal. And if you do it, you're gonna get fined. I'm like, so what I'm supposed to sell? Like only like cucumbers, or like, ¿cómo se dice? Like naranjas, but
oranges. Yeah.
Oranges. What?
So you're selling fruit with your own fruit cart. What was that life like?
It was. You had to wake up at 5 a.m. Then go to to Central and downtown Central Market. Wake up early. Make sure that you go to the commissary, like clean everything, wash, shop everything. Go to the place that you want to be selling, and then face harassment from authorities, harassment from people that tells you don't have a permit, or like ignorant people that don't know what it's like to be in the streets selling. And then facing on top of that, facing actually people who may gonna attack you to get your money. So I was straight
up robbing you.
Yes, I was defensive. I'm like, wow, I have to be defensive all the time. And then I'm like, then gotta have papers, and I'm like, I'm just gonna sell this business, and this is not for me.
Yeah, because that puts you in a very vulnerable position with authorities, with people, other vendors, sexual harassment, racism. I can't even imagine.
Everything.
And while all that was happening, were you still in school?
I was still at school. Like, I was doing my full-time school. I was receiving Cal grants. I got grants. I got some financial aid, but I never accept any loan.
Smart.
Yes, I did. I'm just gonna work very hard, and I'm gonna be not accepting any loans. Only the help that I will get from school that I don't have to pay. So that was my thing. And when I noticed that I was able to go back as an Uber driver full time and work in another job, that's when I realized that I'm like, oh my God, I'm very, very blessed to have documents, to have a social security, and being able to choose where I want to work. Not 100%, because of course there's so many bias in every organization, every corporation that you go, because your accent, or because of your appearance, because your skin color, or because you're just like a queer person. So there's so much bias that you face as a female, even as an immigrant, even as a person who has a big accent, a thick accent with the language. It's a lot of bias, and I was facing that in school. I was facing that everywhere, and that you realize that you're against everybody. But at the same time, if you open everything, you open the opportunity to speak up. You also welcoming good people that will help you, and that's been happening a lot.
And did you finish school?
I finished school. I studied a bachelor's and master's degree in Cal State Northridge.
Congratulations! I have a friend that graduated from film school there.
Yes.
And tell me the top 5 things that you learned at school.
One of the top things that you learn in the master's program is how to speak about your artwork, how to sell yourself, how to develop a body of work that will set you into places that you want to be. And then they teach you a little bit of how to be professional as an artist, and how to technically you learn a little bit, but you actually develop that technique by yourself. But I that's what I learned at school.
You graduate from Cal State Northridge with your master's.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you become accredited by a university and you're starting your own business, what was the next challenges for you?
One of the things is that when you're at school, you're used to do something and then get used to critique. People will come out, yes, this, and then you make changes. And then as soon as you graduate, you don't have that anymore. So basically you have to go, they just go out, and you're it's like going to a beach and your parents telling you, go to the beach, enjoy the the waves, enjoy everything, and every wave is gonna come with strength, and then you have to be strong. And as an artist just graduating, you have to look for your community. You have to look for artists who are doing similar artwork that you're doing, and basically speak about your art, be open about your art, be open about getting to know more people that are gonna be helping you. And I've been doing that for like the last 4 years.
And how did you get to Melrose Trading Post?
So basically, I got my first art studio about 2.5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I had a studio back in 11th Street, and I was like, okay, it's gonna be an investment. I know I'm gonna have an extra rent, but I know that I'm gonna have a space where I can just go do art. And that's how I started. I developed a body of work, a different body of work that I was doing with my master's degree. My master's degree was about, my thesis dissertation was about the research of DACA and undocumented people, and exhibiting and like showing their artwork, more than anything, humanizing them through art and giving them the opportunity to be painted, you know. That's what I was doing. And I was doing the same thing, but then I started a job where I serve for the homeless population, not directly the homeless people, but former homeless people. So we help them get house, and basically what we do is help them retain housing. And every time that I will go to visit a client, I will hear a story of how they got into the situation of being homeless, and that really, you know, touched my heart. And I'm gonna create some artwork that talks about the homeless population and how they ended up in this situation. And I developed a series of work about that. And after that, I was like, okay, people will tell me, you're so talented, you need to go and sell your artwork. And I was like, I don't want to go to markets. Markets are very, like, are considered like no high-end artwork. And especially when you go to school and you study masters, then like they never tell you to go to markets. Especially showing in a cafeteria is something that is not recognized in your curriculum vitae. I was like, how I'm gonna do something like that, and especially in the market, I'm gonna degrade my artwork. And then when I remember this studio mates, they told me, we're actually starting an FDIM, and we're actually selling our stuff over there. You should come see how do you like it, and then you can just get orientation from them and start your business. I was like, okay. I was very to be honest, I was insecure. I already have a job where I lost, like, I had to sell it because it was so hard as a street vendor, and I was like, I'm not gonna risk 7,000-8,000 of my savings to do something that may not gonna work. But at the same time, I was like, I need to take it as an advertisement of my art, and also it's gonna be everything is a risk. So I went to this little booth, and I saw that this person sold an art piece, and then I saw this person selling in print.
So you went to scout it as a customer first?
Yes. I saw and like, wow, this person is selling a $300 print. I'm like, I can do that, you know?
And what was your first day like when you finally set up shop at Melrose?
Oh my God. I'm like, I had to do an orientation first, and because of COVID and this thing, and I was just waiting for the date, but at the same time, I was very anxious and I was very nervous. I'm like, how I'm going to start this, how I'm going to do this, what is going to be like people's response. And then I invited all my friends, hey guys, I'm going to have this, and then you should come and everything. And then the first day was not too bad, but wasn't the best. And some people show up, some of my friends show up, they help me, and I didn't sell as much as I wanted, but I sold, and it was okay. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it again, and I did it again. A second Sunday, it was so windy and like it was like not good. It was a very bad day for me. I remember I sold 2 things, and then the third week was bad, and then I was facing with some other issues that they can speak about, but I was facing with a lot of like personal issues, very personal issues that would like make me feel super down, and it was very slow and those things, and I'm like, oh my god, how I'm going to do how I'm gonna deal with all these things? Like, I already give up a business in the past. I cannot give up again, especially when you're spending money to invest, and prints are not cheap to invest, especially prints or like shirts. I'm like, I can't give up. I need to like continue. This is gonna be more like advertisement. I have to think about advertisement. Then all my work was white, and then some color. And then I remember my organization asked me to make a painting, and was In-N-Out painting. And
In-N-Out burger.
And a big painting, painting of In-N-Out, the print that I raised is out of stock. And I was like, okay, I don't like to do commercial artwork. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna make a print. They told me, make the print and see how it goes. I'm like, all right. I made a print, and that was the only thing that was selling. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what the fuck? It's selling something that I'm sorry for my word, for vocabulary, but I was like, commercial art is always gonna sell. Like, then I have to do something that I feel passionate. So after the In-N-Out, I did something like the pink background with the guy homeless. That was also a big thing. People liked it a lot. I'm like, okay, perfect. So I'm gonna have to start exploring with color. So actually, the market served as a critique day for me.
Wow. Okay.
Like, I was not at school, but I was now at the market exposing myself. So what the street is really, what the vibe of the city is. What is like what the people likes,
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I was like, okay, so what I'm gonna do a series of street vendors with fast food, because I was still like, I was passionate about showing the stories of other people, and that way is actually like sharing my story.
Right, because that's what caught my attention of your work. When I first saw your work, I noticed the homeless, and then you had this cross section of LA that was stuff that you see if you know LA, and then you have all the commercial stuff. So I was really intrigued by your work.
Yes.
That every time I kept going to the market, I made sure to say hi.
Yes, I know. You always make sure that you came and say hi. I'm like, who's this guy? But then I started getting familiar with you. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like the when people come and say hi. And yes, I was.
And in addition to the work that you had on display, one thing that caught my attention right away was that you were actually painting through the whole day. Like, you were working. You weren't just sitting there selling paintings. You were painting. Why is that such a big piece of your showcase?
I want people to see the process of every piece. For me, it's so important to show the vulnerability of me making mistake in art, and at the same time being able to fix it, and also the process of a piece, because a lot of people will come and they're like, oh, this is digital. I'm like, no, everything is yes, now it's a paper, but it's actually real painting that I actually did in here. And I always try to register it. Also, that makes me like, people will feel more close to my artwork. They will ask, oh my god, you're doing this art piece, and then yes, actually I'm gonna come back later in 2 hours so you can see how it's gonna be in 2 hours. So basically showing that part of me. Like, in the beginning it was very hard to paint, and I'm like, oh my god, if I make a mistake, they're gonna think that I'm not a painter. But I'm like, man, I can fix it. People will know. Everybody makes mistakes. And then I started liking the attention from people. Like they will like it and like, okay, I like it. And then all of a sudden they will come 3 months or 2 months later. Oh, I remember that you were doing this and now this is a print. And yes, actually, I really like how this gets closer to the people. Like the people get closer to the artwork because they know how it started.
Yes.
You know? And also they see that part of me like doing artwork, how artists create, you know, because sometimes we are a little jealous about sharing a little bit of our process, but I'm not as jealous. I want to be more open so people can feel inspired, kids can be inspired. And you know, something that I was remember is how Bob Ross will explain his process through like with art and art, and I always admire him. I think everybody, and it's very cliche to say that, but he's few of the artists who have done that. You know,
that's amazing.
It's very cliche to reference him, but who else has done it, right?
Exactly.
But yes, that is a way to get closer to my audience.
You're in the market. You're getting real life experience. You're getting critiques. A full-on color palette emerges from being there. Tell me about what's been the best day you've ever had at the market.
Oh my God!
After all those trials and tribulations, and well, before we get to the best day, tell me about like maybe the moment that was it was really hard, and you were thinking like maybe this isn't for me, and you tried something differently. At what point did you know the market was gonna work for you?
I was told the market is nothing like that I will do forever. I was told that I think that the market is gonna be a place where I will be the person who somebody discovered. That I was thinking that, and the day where I feel like, oh my God, this is really bad, was when I only saw one thing. I was actually in the spot where I've been, but it took a lot of like, that was an energy that that day I didn't sleep well, and I was dealing with a lot of things, and I didn't want to be there. And I realized that when you're not doing things with love and passion, things not gonna come the way you want them, even though you're putting that negative energy. So after that was like, you know, Hedy, you need to change your perspective. Like when you're gonna be here, it's because you want it to be. You know, and I always tell myself, I always talk to myself as therapy. And yes, sometimes I always tell people, like when they come, oh, I want to do this and this, I want to start a business, like yes, but never take personal when people don't buy your work. Never take it personal, you know, because beauty comes from in different shapes, and people not gonna like this shape. People will like this other shape, and it's the same with artwork. And I always realized that the market is gonna be the place where I'm not gonna be forever. It's gonna be something temporary, but it's a place where I'm gonna be probably discovered. That's what I believe. And that I have so many amazing days. I think every day is a blessing day, because people are always showing love. Even though there are days where I don't sell and like the way I wanted to sell, but it's always a day where I was able to get for me, get for the studio, get for reimbursement, get for actually the place to rent the spot, and I'm always making the money. And I always have to be very blessed to God, because He's always there for me. And I think every day is a very good day. And sometimes I actually had people coming, and very well-known people coming to my booth, contemplate my artwork, visiting, and also purchasing prints. And when you see somebody very recognized purchasing artwork, it makes you think that, oh wow, I'm doing something good. But it's not only that, it's also when people come and show that love. And you're making money that you will never think that you will be making in one day.
Right.
You know, it's all about people. It's not only one person or a celebrity coming and purchasing something. It's a accumulation of love from all these people who come from. There's people who have buy work from Austria, New York, people from Korea, people from Japan, people showing love. You know, it's not only a celebrity that matters. It's a combination of people who's showing love.
Right. Because I bought a piece from you, and the other day I saw that one of the biggest stars in the world bought a piece from you, and she made the news, and I just want to say that I admire what you're doing as an artist, but also as an entrepreneur.
Yes.
So we've been to your art exhibitions, and what after being in the market and showcasing your work in a gallery, we got to meet your parents. We were there for your opening. How different is the exhibition at a gallery for you? What was that journey like?
So in the artwork or in the art world and at school, they always teach you to create a series of work, and then I decided to do 2 series of work. One series is going to be dedicated to the people, which is the one that I want to exhibit in our galleries, and the other piece of work is going to be about Los Angeles, about fast food, about street vendors, about like in anything that is related to Los Angeles, but at the same time it's telling a story about me. So all the work that you see in the market is a little biography of Hedy Torres. It's a place where I actually visit, where I feel like home. That's why you see the vibrant colors. Vibrant colors gives you, for some reason it spikes a little bit of your memories as a childhood, of about something that you feel happy about, and that's why I start exploring color. It's a combination of getting to communicate something about me, but at the same time you're remembering something about your past, and that's what I do in the market, and that's why I also paint in the market, and that's why I also do things or places where people would feel like, oh my God, I remember when I was buying a burrito on La Carreta or buying the best burrito in Azteca Tortilleria, and that's what is when I hear that is when I think, okay, I'm doing the right thing.
So everything you're painting, all these places you've been to personally.
I've been or have passed by, and the artwork.
But you've seen these places with your own eyes.
Yes, and also the artwork that I want to exhibit or like intended to be in galleries is artwork that is a little bit more close to me and like a closer biography. But what I do is that self-portrait is the story of somebody else that I feel identified. Like you can see la señora Guadalupe, who is a hot dog street vendor, and that's not only. If I will tell you, when I was 12 years, my parents opened a restaurant, not a big restaurant. It was like a small business where we had a setting. Inside, people will be eating, and outside we will be cooking outside.
Wow.
In a cart, hot dog cart, burgers. And at the age of 18, I had a responsibility to set up with my brother a day or 2 days a week to sell there. I was 13 years old with a responsibility of making hot dogs, hamburgers, and tortas for our customers.
And this is back in Mexico.
In Mexico.
So you were already working as an entrepreneurial business within a family when you were a kid.
Since a kid, I've been I've been working since I have like knowledge. Before that, we had a papeleria, and I would help my mom because I was good in math. Even though I have some dyslexia, I'm not the best writing or like speaking, but I'm very good in math.
But with numbers, you're really
with
good.
Numbers, for some reason I'm good. I don't know why, and I never liked math. But my mom was like, "You're good in math. You're gonna stay in the papeleria from this time to this time." And I was 7, 8 years old, like having that responsibility, like when I'm gonna have time for, to actually like have fun as a kid. I was told that, and that's why a lot of my work is about people, street vendors. Actually, there is a piece where it's called "I Just Wanna Play." Solo quería jugar, and it's you see a kid with the mom selling hot dogs, and it's not only about the kids. It's also about me, my story of being there, not wanting to be there, wanting to just go play, But those experiences shape you in the future.
Yeah.
And now that's when I'm like always trying to thrive, and I was trying to like get out there,
You're selling at markets and painting live, and you're also exhibiting at galleries, all here in the city of Los Angeles. You've graduated from being a student, you're an entrepreneur. What are you doing next?
So I'm planning to actually be full-time painter, full-time artist, established. I know it's gonna take some time, but eventually it's gonna happen. The way I see things, I know that it's gonna happen, and being very, very consistent and persistent, and being out there, that's is the key of like what I really want as an artist, as a painter, and that's what I'm gonna be doing. And then gonna have a few projects this year, and I'm gonna be doing that. I'm exhibiting the amazing artwork, amazing work that they do, the labor that they do, and how they've been feeding their families, actually paying their rent, helping their kids to go to school, graduate from school, through selling, hot dogs or selling fruit in the streets. So I think that's a very, very amazing thing. First, because I was targeted. I noticed that when I was selling fruit in the streets, and I was showing the life of those who are a little less fortunate, and who are potentially like more vulnerable than others.
I heard you earlier mentioning something about a mural.
Yes.
Is that something you can talk about right now, or do we have to wait and see?
I want you guys to wait, but by the time that this is actually like released, probably the mural is gonna be done.
All right.
Yes, so it's gonna be a nice project, a good opportunity from somebody that actually don't know, but it's also because of the market.
That is amazing.
Yes.
And how long have you actually been at the market now?
In the market in April, the end of March was my first year.
Wow. So you already done the 1 year mark.
Yes,
you've crossed
yes, that. Yes. Actually, being in Melrose Trading Post has been a blessing. Honestly.
You've been there over a full year. What season is the best for artwork? Summer, winter, fall, or spring, or is it really?
I will be honest. Every week is different, but I believe every day, every week is a good day. It's a good season. You never know. You never know what you're expecting, because thank God, Los Angeles has so much tourism, and people know a lot about Melrose Trading Post.
Yeah.
They come, they wanted to take something, and they take prints, they take art.
Nice.
And for me, every week is good.
So tell me about the day that Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck bought your print.
Well, that was actually 4th of July, and I remember that day. I was so tired. I woke up and why my muscles are like so tense, and I stretched, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to go. I'm so tired, and just thinking about like doling everything in my car, like putting all my stuff, the merchandise in my car, and like again at night, I was just like, oh my God. But like, if I don't do it, I'm not gonna be where I wanna be.
Right.
So I was in the market. It was very slow. I actually sold some art, but it was like around 12:30. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start painting. I'm gonna start painting, do something that is gonna be productive. And then I was like getting prepared, where I just heard, hey Ben, I'm gonna be here. It was a female voice, and when I face up, it was Ben Affleck, like going away and coming back. And then oh my God, and I was like putting, I was like, oh my God, let me put my thing and like go a little closer. And then when I was putting my thing, Ben Affleck and the kids like were approaching to my booth, but it was most like the first person was then Ben Affleck's kid. I started like checking my prints and then came inside, and Ben Affleck comes and says, hey, so you do this artwork? I'm like, yes, that's my work. And then the Jennifer Lopez girl comes too, and then Jennifer Lopez like listened that they were in my booth, like she was like right next to it. And then they come, and then both of them, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, start staring at this piece. They start like, they were like, interesting. And then I was like, what I wanna say, what I'm gonna say. I'm like, okay, so this is actually the first tortilleria that opened in Los Angeles, and it's been in business for a long time. And then that's when they got interested. I'm like more interested about it. And then used to mention that Jennifer Lopez is very, she doesn't speak much. Then she like moved towards the print of In-N-Out. And then I told her, oh, and actually In-N-Out that you see over there is the first In-N-Out that was like actually established in California. And then she's like, she got it.
Wow.
I handled it to her kid. And then they asked me, how much are the prints? I'm like, oh, they're $40. And then Ben Affleck got his pocket. And you're gonna see in the video that he's actually looking in his pocket. And then he's like, oh, I have money. Yes, I have cash, enough. And then her kid is like, oh, I wanna get a print too, I wanna get a print. And then the kid gets Guanajuato. And then they were gonna leave when they pay me. I'm like, no, guys, wait, because I have to give you the certificate of authenticity. So when I become a famous person, you have something from me. And then I remember they look at me like this and like, you don't know who we are? Like they were surprised for what I said, but at the same time they're like, is she joking? And then they just waited, like they're like, I remember she looked at me like, what is she talking about? And then I did a certificate of authenticity, and then they waited, and I asked them for the numbers. You can see in the video, hey, what number do you have there?
Oh, you have a video of all this?
Yeah, there's a video. Wow. Yeah, somebody did a video. I didn't the video. And you see in the video where I'm like interacting with them and they're looking at me and like, yeah, but I actually told them, hey, wait, I need to give you the certificate of authenticity, so whenever I become a famous artist, you have something from me.
Nice.
And then Jennifer and Ben Affleck look at me like this, like, is she joking? She doesn't know who we are, you know? But I don't know, there was like a little, it was like a weird moment for them too, and a little weird moment for me, but I don't know, but like, yes, it was very amazing, a very, very interesting day.
Nice, congratulations. Yes, that sounds amazing. When I saw that, I was like, oh my goodness, this is great.
Yes. It was very like, wow.
All right, that's amazing. And back to the mural. Where can people see the mural?
It's gonna be here in downtown. I'm gonna be sharing. No, I don't wanna share too much, but it's gonna be street vendors too.
All right, so be ready, everybody. Be on the lookout for Hedy Torres' mural. She'll drop the location. You'll drop the GPS, the coordinates, because I want to see that in person, and hopefully maybe we can even come down and see you work it. And
yes, I invited another artist to help me, because it's the first time I do a mural. This artist also is one of those artists who lost their artwork in the fire, and I wanted to give opportunity, to him to be out there as well.
That's amazing.
It's all about networking and giving opportunity to somebody. When you're actually getting up, you need to up some people. Hey, come over with me. Come, that's the thing. We should stop being selfish. We need to share, and that's what I'm doing. I'm not doing it myself, and I'm gonna ask him to put his also signature in the mural too.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you having us in your studio, learning more from you. But I want to do a rapid fire round.
Yes.
Favorite place to go to LA where you want to just forget about everything and just enjoy yourself with the city?
Oh my God, what is the best place that my studio?
Here.
Yes.
Awesome. Favorite place to eat?
Wow. I really love La Casita de Campo.
I live right around there. I go
Oh
there
my
all the
God.
time.
I love that place. It's so open
Tan
to
pequeño.
queer people.
Oh, yeah.
And I always go with my cousin.
Nice.
Yes, Casita de Campo.
And do you have a special ritual after your Sundays at the market? Like, what do you do after a full day's work? How do you
Oh my
unwind?
God.
How do you unwind?
It's a job from actually 6 to probably 7, but I like to go get sushi. I have to make this amount of money because I'm gonna spend $80 in sushi.
And what's the sushi spot that you like to go to?
It's called Sakura in Marina del Rey.
Nice. Wow. So you go from the market all the way to the ocean.
Yeah, actually, because I live in Inglewood, go to the market, go home, unpack everything over there, unpacked everything. I'm like, okay, now I can relax, go get your sushi, and that happens twice a month, sometimes a little bit more. And yes, or just when I'm super tired, because there are days where I'm very, very tired, I'm just get home, shower, relax, and just have something small.
Nice. Scary movies or comedies?
None.
What's your
Give me thriller, give me story-based movies. I like all slow movies
Nice.
as well.
Streaming at home in your comfort of your own home or going out to the movie theater?
I rather be at home.
Nice. Cats or dogs?
I'm allergic to both.
Sunrise or sunset?
I would say sunrise.
Nice. I like that. I love sunrise.
I usually walk every morning, about 3.5 miles every morning. Yes.
During the sunrise?
Yes, every
Nice.
morning. That's one of my rituals.
Nice. Favorite day of the week?
I believe Friday.
Lucky number?
I don't have lucky number. I think every number is my number.
Nice. Favorite color? Favorite color to
White.
use for paint?
Oh, for artwork, I would say turquoise and yellow.
Nice.
You can see my work.
Nice. And to bring it back full circle, we had the chance to meet your parents at your exhibition. What's the reception of your family seeing your work? Like, out of everybody you've met, when your family sees your work, what do they say to you?
I'm like, did you do this artwork? I'm like, yes, Dad. I'm like, oh my God, take a picture. I'm gonna show it to my friends in Mexico. I'm like, okay, Pop, take a picture. They don't believe that I do that work. Maybe because I never had a chance to do it when I was in Mexico, an opportunity to have it over there. And yes, when my parents saw it, they were like surprised because I actually dedicated some of those pieces to my dad and my mom.
Wow.
Yes.
And are you planning to? Is there a possibility of you showcasing your work back in Mexico?
I was in an exhibition in Mexico City.
When was this?
That was like last month. No, this month.
Wow. Is that why you were in Mexico? Because
That's when I was in Mexico.
oh my God, I had no idea. I wish I would have
Yes.
known. And how did it go there?
It went well. Yes, it's about networking, And I said, if I go back to Mexico City, it's because I'm gonna be having a solo exhibition, and that's what it's gonna be.
Oh my God, that's amazing! Congratulations.
Yes.
Oh my God, I admire you so much. I love everything that you do. I love everything that you stand for and that you represent. I feel seen when I'm with you. I feel like you're I feel recognized, especially
Yes.
in this part of the world. And to give the audience a little bit of pixie dust, what would you say is more important? Talent, raw natural talent, or discipline?
Discipline.
Elaborate.
Wow. You can be talented and be lazy and don't do our work. But a person that is disciplined person person with discipline, is gonna continue doing things until they do it the way they wanna do it. They wanna make it. And talent can also be shape and sharpener. And I knew that I had a talent, but I didn't have good enough talent, you know. And as I've been doing artwork, continue doing artwork, I was persistency. I was having the discipline, like continue doing the artwork is making me way better and with my talent, with my skill. And I really, you know, discipline beats talent in all the ways, you know.
I agree. And to close it off, creativity for me is very important because I feel that with creativity I've been able to create the architecture of my life. You said you wanted to be an architect. What would you say is the most important thing when using creativity to live your life?
The good thing about having creativity is that you get like, I will tell from my experience. I have faced so many obstacles, so many experiences, and I was found the creativity to make them feel like less painful, you know, or the creativity to resolve those problems or those issues in better ways, you know. And I think that everybody has creativity. Some people don't know how to use it because they're making money, you know. But everybody has a creativity. Just try the creativity in a positive way.
Nice. Thank you for having us. I really appreciate you. Congratulations. How can people find you, find your work, and buy your work?
You can find actually have a website, but you can find me easily in Instagram because I'm very active on it. It's art, A-R-T, by B as a boy, Y, Heto, H-E-T-O, and Heto stands for Hedy Torres.
Oh.
It's an abbreviation of Hedy Torres. And my website, HedyTorres.com. So, and you can purchase prints there, and also you can find me on Melrose Trading Post. And if you ever want to purchase or come see my artwork on the studio, you can come. I'm not gonna allow you to stay all the time, all the 3 hours that I'm in the studio, but definitely come in the last hour of my artwork.
Oh, nice.
You know, so you can see a little bit of the work.
Well, look forward to seeing everything that you continue to do.
Yes.
Thank you and congratulations.
No, thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for listening to Stebner Show.